Hey everyone, we're talking fascia today. What it is, where it is in the body, how to take care of it, and how it relates to the meridians in our bodies. Let's go. Okay, before we begin, you may want to pick some tools up for yourself. Here's what we got. A squishy tennis ball will do. A little bit of a firmer squishy ball, bouncy ball, is good to have. Or an indoor or outdoor lacrosse ball. I do not recommend this when you're first starting out. Very hard. And if you don't have any of those, a rolled up towel does a little bit. It's nowhere near as good as a ball. It's just too soft, but it'll do in a pinch. You'll get a little something, something. You're going to need, perhaps, to play along, a sock with 2 balls in it, a ball sock. Okay, first let me explain what fascia is very quickly. And if you want more, click on the link provided to go a little deeper into fascia. So what is fascia? Well, here's the quick answer. It's a type of body tissue that surrounds, separates, links, connects every tissue in the body from the bones to the tiny muscle fibers. It provides support. It helps the body glide and move. It protects and communicates because it is the most innervated tissue our bodies have, directly communicating with the nervous system. And we're still discovering more. To keep it healthy, it needs to be moved, hydrated, and massaged so that it doesn't get sticky adhesions or crunchy. This is healthy fascial tissue, a type of fascial tissue that is, you can see, very clearly liquidy and glidey. That's what we want in the body. Okay, now that you know what fascia is, let's go and work on it. I've got a couple of ways against a wall, so you need a wall, and one good way on the floor, so you need a floor. Okay, so I always begin with the softest ball because I don't want to damage this tissue. It's really important. If you are doing fascial release and you're getting bruises are a sign that the body is being hurt. So don't do that. I'm taking the squishiest ball I have, and I'm going to start at the top of the spine, near the top of the spine. And what I want is not directly on the bone, but over to the side. Okay? That's what you want too. And the reason I'm doing this on the wall is because I have a little more control about how much pressure I'm putting on there. If I do this on the floor, it's really hard to negotiate how much depth I want to go into this. So one of the things is you're going to feel like, oh, this is a nice massage. This feels good. That's great, and it does feel good, but what you're trying to do is to rest into the areas that feel a little crunchy to you. If you don't feel anything at all, take the ball away, lower it down, and keep kind of going down the side of the spine until you find, like there, until you find a point that it's like, oh, it comes alive. It should not be, oh! It should be a place where you can breathe through. Make sure that it's nice and relaxed. Let me give you a different angle on this. Okay, so see the ball? Me leaning in. Now I'm going to bring my feet out a little more because I need a little more weight on that. When you bring your feet out, you're a little shorter. So now I'm feeling it pretty well. And actually, it's referring here to my collarbone because we're working with fascial tissue and it's everywhere in the body. So you're going to pause on this for a while. You can watch television, you can read a book if you wanted, but I just like to rest and let things go. One of the other things, if you want to go into a technique called shearing, is to just move the arm back and forth. Have the ball placed, but then do some movement and see if that creates a different sensation or a deeper release in the tissue. And this is feeling pretty good, so I'm going to keep moving down. Now, I'm moving down to find the next area. I'm not doing my whole spine because my whole spine isn't tight. In fact, all of this feels pretty good until I get down to the lumbar. Okay, so my ball is right along the lumbar area, and I want it to kind of deepen so I can feel it a little more. So I'm putting my weight on the opposite foot and letting this leg go, because if this leg is activated, so are the muscles. And so I'm just going to soften, let this all go, and then find, you know what? And this ball is too soft. So I'm going for the next, a little bit firmer one. And I can tell already that is what I need. There's some tension back there, I'm just saying. So I'm letting this go. And what's really interesting too is that, not only is this getting the fascial tissue, it's getting muscles and all the fascial tissue that is wound around each muscle fiber. But I can feel, this is the psoas, I can feel it where it attaches to the front of my thigh, that it's getting a stretch and perhaps opening up a little bit, which would be nice. Very nice. And so if you need a little more and you may want to walk your feet out and lean into it a little more or get a firmer ball, but let that leg go. Don't have it activated because it's not, when it's activated, it's not allowing that release and relax and the deeper unwinding to occur. And that feels pretty good. I'm going to move it down. Yep. That's the place. It should feel like a good stretch feels. Like, hurt so good in a way, not hurt so bad. So, getting into the shoulder. This is, again, what you're trying to do is feel around for the bones and not place the ball right on the bone. You want to go into the softer areas. So, I'm going to tuck it here. Put some weight on it. I know I want some more, so I'm going to go down and bring my feet out like I've done before. And there. Oh, that's nice. So I can feel this really releasing. And there I've got a crunchy area. And sometimes when you've got a little crunchy area, the ball will just go bloop off of it because it's almost round. The crunchy area is almost round itself. And so you have to reposition and go in easy. And now I'm going to take my arm and just move it because I'm on top of it and I can feel it slowly melting away. I'm just doing gentle movements with my arm. And like right there, it's kind of weird how fast that one happened. So sometimes it takes a long time, multiple weeks to get this tissue to unwind. It just depends on how big it is, how long it's been there. Now I'm just kind of searching around. There's a nice place. Now with this one, I've got both my feet flat on the floor and I'm just kind of leaning in and I can feel it, you can feel the connectivity of this tissue all the way down to your fingertips. But the cool thing about this too is that like right now, I'm on the small intestine meridian. And I know that, the small intestine is there to really help, break things down. And it's not just breaking them down for the body to digest. It's breaking down your experiences. And so when we get stuck tissue because of the stuck things that are in our lives, things that we haven't processed or can't process yet, these are good ways to access and get some flow moving again. Wow, that feels good. So just taking your time, being patient with yourself, and then when it feels like, I think this is complete, you just slowly release, catch the ball in your hand, and then just gently move so that this tissue maintains what you've given it, this openness. So I love this little tool of just having the sock with 2 tennis balls inside. It's really nice to place against both sides of your spine, just above your hips, and start from there, and just kind of lean into the wall. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about, relaxing the legs so that you can go a little deeper. Well, you can't when you've got this because you got to use your legs to balance yourself against the wall. But this is where we can go to the floor. Okay, so now that I've shown you a little bit about how to work in the spine, how to get into some of the tissue in the shoulders, we're going to head to the floor and work a little bit on the hips. See you down there. So do this on a clean floor. I've used yoga mats before, and that's fine. The cushion the firm surface is what I like because then the tennis balls have something to push off of. It's a little softer with a yoga mat, not that much softer, but I'm anal retentive. So I start by placing the balls on either side of my spine, and I look for the top of my, the rim of the hips back there. And I just lay down on them. Oh, now, this, one of the things that happens is because you're laying down, you can just let things kind of go and melt in. That may be too much for you. Go back to the wall if it is. But if it's not too much for you, you can kind of let your legs go. I know for my body, putting my legs all the way straight is going to be way too much for me. So I just have them here, and I can kind of drop one leg over and then back up to get kind of that shearing, deeper sensation. If you are ever at the place where you're like, oh, this is, okay, I can do it. You're not doing it. That's too much tension that you're putting into the body. You have to be able to be relaxed, right? And then when you feel like, oh yeah, this is loosening up. Like I feel like I could put one leg all the way down right now. Boy, this is feeling so great right now. I don't feel safe doing the other leg. What I will do though is I'll switch them. So when my left feels like, yeah, this is going well. And it's pretty well released. I can feel it. I'm going to bring that one back up and then lower the other one. And I could easily straighten it. It may be that you'll have to go a little slower. The key is listen and don't push. I think we have this culture of, if it don't hurt, it don't help. Well, when it comes to a lot of things, if it hurts, that's not helping. So take a few moments and breathe. And then when it feels complete, you just keep inching up the body. So I'm going to bring my foot flat. I'm going to lift up, and I'm just going to kind of roll these tennis balls. Ooh, there's a spot. And I got to tell you, my low back it's just always tight. There are issues going on there that stem from decades of tight back. I'm not going to go into a therapy session with you. The nice thing about this too is that you're really working the whole bladder meridian. I got a bathroom right over there, so no problem. But make sure you know where the bathroom is. That's a little joke. But I feel nice releases here. You know, the other option is if it's too much and you're on the floor and the wall's not working for you, just put a little book underneath or your hands underneath and lift the hips up a little bit. That might help relieve some of the intensity. And I'm good there, so I'm just going to keep moving. Oh man, that feels good too. Just keep moving up the spine. And if you want, just do some gentle movements with your arms as you get higher up. Do gentle movements with your legs in these lower areas. Like, I feel like I could put my legs down. Yeah, it's a little probably too intense on the right, so I'm going to keep that right leg up. But just keep going up. Keep trying it out. So when you want to get up out of this, press your feet flat, lift your hips a little bit, and remove the ball's sock out from there, and then just roll to your side and just kind of move around a little bit to make sure that the space that you've created is still there and you're not crunching right back up. And then roll up to a seated position. Let your head be the last thing that comes up, because that helps with, blood flow. So for the hips can be pretty sensitive, and we're going to start kind of on the side. So I've got, I'm female. I got some hills here and some valleys that I don't particularly want to show everybody, but I'm going to go in between the hills of my hips. Oh, see, and that is just way too hard. So that's an indoor lacrosse ball. It's just not going to happen. And if the indoor lacrosse ball isn't going to work, the outdoor one is definitely not going to work. So I'm going to start with my tennis ball. And I'm going to put it in between. See, there goes it's trying to trip me up. I'm going to put it in between the two hills here, and go right into the valley. And I am not on the bone of my hip. I'm not on the pelvic bone. I'm kind of finding my way beside it and around any of the curves there to get into the fleshy area. And I got to tell you, sometimes you'll feel pain deeper in, and sometimes you feel it a little more surfacey. And that's what I'm feeling right now. It's like, yeah, that just doesn't feel too great. And I don't feel like that is really getting into the area that needs to be stretched. So I just lowered down here. That's where it's at. It feels like it's just behind where the femur comes into the hip socket. So I'm letting this leg go, and I'm going right in there. Boy, that feels pretty good. And I'm just going to move subtly with my knee to kind of coax that tissue to go. Now I don't feel like I need to do that anymore, and I'm just going to apply a little leaning in weight to it. So try it out yourself. See what it feels like, and you'll know after the time, like this, I don't have that sensation anymore. So now I know it's time to move. Now I'm going to move to a little more the back, the booty. And I mean, that's that's getting something done in there. So I'm just going to pause here and let it melt away. And I'm going to move my knee because I feel like it needs it. And I feel like it needs some, ooh, let's see here. Needs a little Elvis. I don't know. That's hitting it. Just maybe a little slower. And then a pause. Like, I don't know exactly what's happening inside of there other than some shifts and changes needed to happen in order for it to untighten, to just unwind this tissue. And that feels pretty good. So try it yourself. See what's happening there. Give yourself some time. I'm going back to where maybe the piriformis is coming in. That's a little tender. And but it's not a bad tender. I'm going to move my knee. I want to remind you, if you're doing one side of your body, you have to do the other side. Even if it feels different, you may not pause in the same areas, but in order for you to get some nice, even harmony in the body, it's important to do that. So when I do one side of my shoulder, you're going to bet, it may not be on camera because you're bored of watching me, but I'm doing it on the other side. And the same thing goes with the hip, the back, arms, everywhere. The other thing is drink water. This tissue is very fluid. It needs water to maintain its elasticity, its fluidity. As we age, we lose water and we lose collagen, which means we're losing fascial tissue and access to it. So that's why one of the reasons we get really stiff. So we got to keep moving, got to keep drinking water, got to keep massaging. Get yourself some good tools, different weights of and densities of balls, and a tube sock. Any sock will do. And maybe even a rolled up towel or 2 or 3. Any sock will do. And maybe even a rolled up towel or 2 or 3. Now, if you liked this, check out my other video on fascial release with completely different tools. Thanks, guys. Shusha.